Mom, he's back. My 6-year-old daughter was shaking so hard I could feel it through her pajamas. Her voice was barely above a whisper, and her eyes were locked on the hallway door like something terrible lived behind it. I grabbed my phone and opened the security app. The timestamp read to 11 a.m. and then my stomach dropped. Camera offline. Before I could say a single word, the hallway doorknob slowly, deliberately turned. My name is Rebecca. I'm 34 years old, and I'm a night shift nurse at a local hospital. Long shifts, exhausting days. I've spent years learning to observe quietly, to notice what others miss, to trust the details that don't add up. I've been married for 8 years. My daughter Lily is 6, and she is my entire world. I'm not glamorous. I'm not wealthy, but I pay attention. I notice patterns. And when my child tells me something is wrong, I believe her. If you've ever been told you're too sensitive, or that your instincts are wrong, hit subscribe right now. Drop a comment and tell me your story. Have you ever been the only one taking something seriously? Click hype if you believe a mother's intuition matters. Let's go. The next morning, my husband laughed about it at breakfast. He called Lily a future horror novelist. He said it right in front of his sister during family brunch, grinning like it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. Lily heard every word. She went quiet. She stopped eating. I watched the embarrassment wash over my little girl's face, and something cold settled into my chest. That afternoon, I checked the camera logs. The footage between 2:10 and 2:14 a.m. was completely deleted. Not corrupted. Deleted. I confronted my husband. He shrugged without even looking up from his phone. Probably a glitch. Stop looking for drama. His voice was so casual it made my skin crawl. The following week, Lily screamed herself awake again. This time, there were muddy shoe prints near the back door. I called the police. My husband's jaw tightened. He said I was humiliating him in front of the neighbors. The officer who came out noticed something that made my pulse spike. The backlock showed signs of recent tampering. Before I could respond, my husband stepped in. She's been under a lot of stress. It's probably nothing. The officer filed a minor report and left. That night, my husband suggested I see a therapist. Then I found something that changed everything. He had changed the security system password 2 weeks earlier. He never told me. I was locked out of the security app entirely. He frowned when I brought it up. You're obsessing, Danielle. This isn't healthy. I stood there realizing I had zero control over the safety of my own home. Zero. That realization didn't make me panic. It made me go very, very still. A week later, at a neighborhood barbecue, he did it again. He laughed about my ghost hunter phase in front of people we'd known for years. A few of them chuckled politely. I smiled and said nothing. Lily pressed herself against my leg and refused to move. She didn't think it was funny either. Then came the night I overheard his phone call. I was passing the bedroom door when I heard him speaking low and careful. She's getting paranoid. I might need legal advice. I stopped breathing. Legal advice. He was building something. A case, a narrative. He had started documenting my so-called episodes, collecting moments he could later frame as instability. The walls of this marriage began to feel less like home and more like a trap designed specifically for me. But what he didn't know was this. I document everything. It's what nurses do. We write down times, observations, patterns, anomalies. It's second nature. So I started keeping a detailed log at home. Dates, times, exact words, he said. I quietly installed a small backup camera in Lily's room. And then I did something he never anticipated. I accessed a cloud archive I had set up months earlier and recovered the deleted footage. What I saw on that recovered video stopped me cold. At 2:08 a.m., someone entered through the garage. A man Lily must have seen standing in that hallway. The timestamp was 3 minutes before the camera went offline. And here is the part that made everything click. At that exact moment, my husband had claimed he was asleep, right beside me. I didn't say a word to him. I kept watching. I kept gathering. I had a plan they never saw coming. I reached out to Mr. Reynolds, an old family lawyer who had helped us draft our will years ago. He always said I was sharp. I showed him the footage and my documentation log in his quiet office. The smell of old paper and leather thick in the air. The kind of room that felt like it held secrets and kept them well. He studied everything without speaking for a long time. Then he looked up and said, Danielle, this isn't paranoia. This is preparation. He told me to keep collecting evidence and not confront my husband alone. Meanwhile, my husband grew confident. He started casually dropping the phrase temporary separation into conversations, always framing it around my mental health. He thought the story was already written. He thought he had already won. Then one night, Lily curled up beside me and whispered, "Mom, he argues with the hallway man." And the full picture began to form in my mind. This wasn't just about me. Someone was coming into our home. My husband knew about it, and my daughter had been watching all along. We met in Mr. Reynolds' office under the pretense of reviewing financial documents. My husband walked in relaxed. He sat down with a small smirk that he probably didn't even know was on his face. He got comfortable. Then he started, "Danielle's been unstable lately. I think we need to have a conversation about custody." Mr. Reynolds nodded slowly. Then he pressed play on his laptop. The room went silent. The recovered footage filled the screen, clear and time-stamped. My husband at the garage door at 2:08 a.m., opening it deliberately, letting another man inside. Lily's hallway man, right there on video. My husband's smirk disappeared so fast it was like watching a mask fall off a wall. It's not what it looks like. I slid the folder across the table. Inside was everything: the deleted footage logs, the password change records, the dates and times of his documented episodes against me, the transcript of the phone call about legal advice. Mr. Reynolds didn't raise his voice. He simply asked, "Why was a stranger in your home at 2 in the morning without your wife's knowledge?" The silence was the loudest thing in the room. Then he broke. He admitted that the man was a coworker. He had been secretly moving money and valuables out of the house for weeks, preparing to file for divorce. His plan was to get there first, to make me look mentally unstable, to use my own instincts against me and take my daughter in the process. His arrogance dissolved in that office chair. Every calculation he had made came apart because of a cloud archive and a nurse who never stopped paying attention. I filed for divorce with full documentation in hand. Custody proceedings went in my favor. Financial misconduct surfaced during discovery, and his professional reputation took a serious hit. Lily started sleeping through the night again. She stopped flinching at hallway sounds. She started laughing at breakfast again, and that sound was worth more than anything else that happened in that courtroom. I got my home back. I got my peace back. And I learned something I will carry for the rest of my life. They called me paranoid, but I was prepared. And trusting my instincts saved my daughter. Have you ever been made to feel crazy for trusting your gut? Gaslighting hides in plain sight. It wears the face of someone you love. If someone has ever tried to rewrite your reality, share your story in the comments below. Subscribe if you believe intuition is a strength, not a flaw. And click hype to help this story reach someone out there who needs to hear it tonight. Did this one hit home? Like the video, and tell me your thoughts in the comments. Your support carries these stories to people who need them. And that matters more than you know.